Welcome to the second part of this video series in regards to safety when recovering a four-wheel drive. In this second video, I'll be talking more about prevention in regards to getting stuck and preventing that recovery process that you need to do once you've bogged your vehicle. How it's related to vehicle recovery safety is obviously the more we can prevent to be in a situation of recovering a vehicle, the safer we are. So stick around and hopefully you'll learn more from this. Don't just go through an obstacle just because the track leads you to that. Lots of times you'll find that there's always an easier way out, or sometimes what we call a chicken track. Avoid the hard stuff. There's always an easy way out. Look at the obstacle, look what's around it, see if you can get around it, and always find the easiest way out. What situation are you actually in? You're stuck. Is there people around you? What are their reaction? Are you holding up anyone in the track? Are there vehicles queued behind you? Is the ocean about to consume your four-wheel drive? Is a tide coming in? Are you in the middle of the river in deep water? You'll find that in a lot of situations, there's actually no need to rush. So first of all is compose yourself, calm down, and think about the best way to recover your vehicle. Think about the things that you've researched before you head out of the tracks. Get that in your mind and get your equipment ready and just take your time. Another thing is crowds. If you're new to four-wheel driving, now you'll probably find that you would want to go with other people just for that, security, that sense of security. And obviously, to not be alone, which is always recommended anyway. But you'll find that you may end up with your friends who are also new to four-wheel driving. And the issue with crowds like that is that these people, get all hyped up in this situation, and you get a lot of input or advice from different people at the same time dealing with the same situation, which could be quite dangerous. So be mindful of that. Be mindful with the people you go with, especially if you're new to four-wheel driving. Don't be intimidated by these people. If you're out on your own in a place where it's a long weekend, there's lots of people in there and there's a crowd gathering because vehicles starting to get stuck. To be honest, personally, I would avoid that to start with. If I come across that situation, I would avoid or delay crossing the obstacle if I can, because again, crowds are intimidating and it's just distracting. Really, you can't think straight. You get distracted with all these knowledge that you have in your mind that you can't apply because different people will have different suggestions and advice and that sort of thing. When you're out on the tracks and you come across an obstacle, it's always important to not just drive through it straight away, even though it looks easy for you. Get off your vehicle, look at it, look at the different angles of it, think outside of the box, take time and analyze the obstacle and plan your attack on it. Pick the right line. You always hear people say that. Now, one thing you got to remember is that one line may not be applicable for all vehicles. So you need to know, it's important that you need to know the limitation of your vehicle and the capability of your vehicle, because only then can you know which line is best for your vehicle. For example, there's differences with traction per vehicle, with ground clearance, with suspension, articulation, with vehicle track, the track width of your vehicle. Wider vehicles may be okay in this line because they can straddle the ruts, and if you've got a narrower track vehicle, you might not be okay on that line. You might need to pick another line. Approach and departure angles as well is something to consider. Some vehicles, higher vehicles, may be okay on this line and you may not be okay on that line. So at the end of the day, you need to know the capability of your vehicle to be able to pick the right line. Always consider track building. Now, what does it mean? You look at an obstacle and don't just think that that's it and you can't do anything about it, but to just pick the line and do it. You know, you've got hands and feet, you've got your tools, your shovel and that sort of thing. You've got rocks around you, sticks, branches around you. Use that to your advantage. Build the track. Put rocks, fill up ruts, big ruts with rocks. Anything you can put your hands on, fill it up. You know, if there are patches wherein you look down the road and you can see patches that you're sure you will lose momentum because traction is not that great, use your traction device, lay it out, use rocks, again, anything to build that track to make it easier for your vehicle. If you are to go through a difficult obstacle, particularly a big mud hole, a big bog hole, crossing a river, it's always best to pre-rig your recovery equipment. So you attach it properly, you know, on the front of your vehicle. Take the tow strap or the snatch strap and take it inside in your vehicle before you head out and, you know, cross whatever obstacle you're going to cross. I've seen a lot of videos online wherein people cross rivers and get stuck in the middle, or cross a deep mud hole and get stuck in the middle of it, and then people just scramble getting recovery equipment, you know, and then only attaching it to the vehicle that's bogged, and obviously the more time it takes. And the worst thing about that is not only the time it takes that your vehicle is sitting in this deep mucky water and ruining your interior, but the worst case is the safety aspect of that as well, because obviously people are in a rush, and lots of times if it's a deep bug hole or underwater, your recovery points is sometimes inaccessible even. And if it is accessible, you know, you can't see what's underneath. You rush and securing things, and that's when mistakes happen. So safety aspect, it's not a good thing as well. So pre-rig your vehicle before crossing. Have an action plan. Have a plan of, you know, where you're going to recover, whether you're going to recover forwards or recover backwards. Another common mistake that people who are new to forward driving do is that they cross an obstacle and the vehicle struggles or loses traction, and what they do is they boot the right foot and give it more power, which may, you know, get them out at some scenario in some instances, but, you know, a lot of instances it's going to make the situation worse, especially in sand and that sort of thing, wherein the more wheel spin you have, the deeper you go into the hole. So be mindful of that. As soon as the vehicle loses traction, give it a little bit of right foot just to, you know, gain a little bit back of momentum, maybe a little bit of traction. But as soon as you feel that it's not going anywhere, let go straight away, hit the brakes. Or as soon as you feel the vehicle sinking to the slightest, just stop it and get out and do something. Look, reassess the situation and go from there. Sometimes you'll find that just a little bit of digging or shoving a little bit of, you know, rocks underneath the wheel that's losing traction is all you need to get out of the situation. Thanks for watching. I hope out of the 2 videos that I created in this series, you have picked up some new information. And if not, I hope that this has refreshed your knowledge in regards to driving technique, recovery, and safety around recovering a forward drive. If I did miss anything in the video, which I'm sure I probably have, as there's going to be a lot of information around this topic, please feel free to put in the comments below for everyone's, you know, benefit. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next video.